Chapter 9. Lily. I stride into the building the next day with a boost of confidence. A stop at a thrift store last night rewarded me with a pair of sensible heels. I'm all for fashion, but I'm not killing myself. And a leopard print pantsuit. They'd had a plain blue one, but I couldn't force my artistic personality to buy it. I have to be able to keep some flair. The receptionist flashes me a small smile and a wave as I pass her on my way to the elevators, and I return the gesture. I didn't get to meet many of my coworkers yesterday, but I'm hoping that will change today. Art can sometimes be a lonely passion, but Janice said we worked on campaigns together, so I'm assuming that means sharing creative ideas. The elevator doors close behind me, and I smile at my reflection in the mirrored walls. I may not be quite as put together as Janice, and I'm certainly no competition for the refined Sarah Palmer, but I feel like I elevated my style a bit. Unfortunately, my curls are still not cooperating today, but that's pretty par for the course. The elevator reaches my floor and I step out and head toward my office. I'm surprised to see the nameplate gone from my door, but they haven't replaced it with my name yet. Instead, it's now a lighter rectangle reminding me of the woman who was here before me. I run my fingers over the shape and wonder again who this woman was and what really happened with her. Maybe I can find something out about her online. I drop my bag on the floor and sit down behind the computer, but before I can begin my search, Janice pops her head in the door. "Oh, good, you're here. We have a meeting in 5 minutes out in the main area." Her eyes meet mine, and then, just briefly, they glance at the area behind me before focusing back on me. I flash my best smile. "I'll be there." But I bite back the words I really want to say. Why does she keep glancing around my office? Did she lose something in here? Did she wish the office was hers? Or is there something about the office that she doesn't want me to find out? Maybe something about Claire? But that doesn't make any sense, because why would they have put me in her old office if there was something to hide? Janice nods and disappears, and I log into the computer. Claire Cooper is a pretty common name, but I type it into the search bar anyway. Maybe there will be some story that pops up about her, but there is nothing. Or rather, there are tons of hits on Claire Cooper's, but nothing that jumps out as some sensational story. I can't even find a death notice. Claire Cooper, 29, of Minnesota, gets married. Claire Cooper, 21, of Wyoming, charged with a DUI. Claire Cooper, 32, of New York, starts a law practice. The list goes on and on. I sigh and click out of the search. Maybe I'll come back to it if I ever get more information on her. But for now, I need to get my head in the right space for this meeting. I grab a notepad and my favorite pen, a Kate Spade pen that my sister sent me one Christmas with a funky spotted design. And then I head out to the main area. Someone has set up a TV screen and circled a few chairs around it. A man with dark wavy hair is already sitting in one of the chairs, so I take the one next to him. "Hi, I'm Lily. I'm the new art director assistant." He glances up at me. "Mark, layout. Nice to meet you." He has eyes the color of chocolate and lashes that are so dark I almost wonder if he has mascara on them. "Nice to meet you as well. How long have you been working here?" He shrugs and leans back in his chair. His tan slacks and a button-down shirt are business casual, but his posture tells me he's much more laid back than Janice. In fact, he looks like he would be more at home on the beach than in this office. "A few years, I guess." "So you must like it here?"
Yeah, what's not to like? The pay is good, the work is rewarding, and the perks are pretty fantastic.
I'm not sure what perks he's talking about unless he means the small gym, so I make a mental note to ask about them. But right now, I'm more interested in Claire. Did you know Claire Cooper well? At the mention of her name, his energy changes. His relaxed posture tenses, and he looks away from me.
Not really. She was kind of quiet and kept to herself.
Odd, and a little concerning. Mark would never make it as a poker player. It's clear he's hiding something. But what is it? Did he bully Claire? Or have some romance with her that went sour? My gaze drops to his hand and spies a gold band. So Mark is married. An affair, then? It's sad, though, huh? He shrugs, but keeps his eyes firmly away from mine. One hand snakes up to rub at his neck as if massaging out some tension.
Death is always sad, I guess.
He checks his watch again and then glances around the room. Relief flashing across his features when he sees Janice and a few others crossing the room towards us.
Oh, there's the rest of the gang. The meeting must be about to begin.
I stare at Mark a moment longer, but he refuses to look at me. Actually, he refuses to even look near me. It's like he's erected a big invisible wall between the two of us. And the question is, why? Why did he act as if he didn't know Claire when he clearly would have had to work with her? Why did he refuse to answer my questions? And why does the topic of Claire seem to make him so uncomfortable? Carrie takes the chair next to me and flashes a little wave. And then another guy I don't know takes the seat next to Mark. Janice walks to the front and turns to face us. Well, it looks like we're all here, so let's get started. No Miss Palmer today? Carrie asks, glancing around. I find myself following suit. Janice shakes her head. Miss Palmer had to take an important phone call, but I'll fill her in on everything after we're done. A touch of disappointment washes over me, but I push it away. Miss Palmer is the boss, and she probably has a million important things to do. Still, I can't help wondering when I'll actually get to work with her. Learning from her was a big reason I took the job. Okay, so we have the very unsexy task of trying to make a razor sexy, Janice says. She presses a remote, and a picture of a razor fills the screen. Not that razors are unique, but this one is exceptionally bland. It's monochromatic and doesn't appear to have many distinguishing features. I study the razor, trying to see it in a different light. We could experiment with color, I suggest. It's completely silver, so at least we'd have a lot of colors we could choose from. Color might work, but it doesn't really say anything about the razor, Janice says. The razor doesn't say much about itself either, I think, but I keep that comment to myself.
What if we focus on precision? Mark offers. Like have visuals of how close it cuts, how clean the lines are.
Janice taps her lips as if thinking through that idea. That might work. We could use that as a tagline, like sharper than ever or cutting-edge precision, Carrie says. If we go with the idea of precision, we could focus on cool, bold colors like blue and black, I add, starting to see a picture in my mind. Maybe even a futuristic world where the razor is more than just a grooming tool. It's a high-tech gadget.
Maybe we have a modern-day warrior, and we zoom into the razor slicing through the hairs, Mark adds.
Janice nods and tilts her head as if trying to visualize it as well. That might work. Lily, can you sketch up a few scenes and then send them to Mark to see if they'll work on the print aspect as well as the video aspect? Carrie, you and Ray keep working on the copy. Let's keep it simple and sharp. Carrie and Ray nod, and I glance over at Mark. He seems relaxed once more and even flashes a small smile at me before it freezes on his face. I follow his gaze and see Sarah Palmer staring at us, arms folded across her chest. You started the meeting without me? Sarah's voice is confused. You said the meeting started at 10, and according to my watch, she makes an exaggerated show of checking her watch. It's only 9:45. Janice flashes us an apologetic expression. I told you the meeting was moved to 9:30, she says calmly, and you said you had a phone call at that time. There's a flicker of something on Sarah's face that is hard to place. Anger? Confusion? Finally, she sighs. I don't remember that conversation, but I suppose it's possible. Please fill me in later then. Of course. Janice gives her a smile and waits for Sarah to leave. Then she inhales and exhales deeply. All right, sorry for the interruption. She's got a lot on her plate. But let's get to work on the concepts we discussed, and I'll let you know when the next project comes up. So that was weird, right? I whisper to Carrie as we return to our offices. She nods and glances around to make sure no one else is close enough to hear. Definitely weird. Want to talk about it more over lunch? Sure, sounds good. Does noon work? I check my watch. It's almost 10, but 2 hours should be plenty of time to sketch out at least some basic ideas to show Mark. Yep, I'll see you then. As Carrie heads to her office, I enter mine and see the search for Claire still up on my screen. Though I'm still curious about her, I close out the search and try to focus on work. If I want to keep this job, I can't get distracted by something that happened before I arrived.